Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo, a weekly interview show where we talk with interesting people. And today, now that we're getting close to the Halloween season here, just a few weeks away, is the master of Halloween, Randy Skalos. Randy, thanks for joining the show today.
Hello, Chuck. It's nice. It's very nice to be here.
Well, we're anxious to have you. First of all, you are in how many years now for the haunt?
This is our 26th year.
26
our 26 years of doing this. And
Wow.
yeah, it's a very long time. And I was telling some people just the other day that now because we've been around for so long, we are seeing generations come and visit us.
Oh,
so that's like pretty amazing, when you have that kind of thing.
What gave you the idea? Let's go all the way back to year one. What made you want to do this?
Well, we started this back in 1990, but originally it started back when my sister and I were growing up. Our mother used to take us to P&J Variety in downtown Conneaut, and then over to Grant's, and she used to buy us all these really nice Halloween decorations, and we used to decorate our porch for Halloween, and so we did that all through the time my sister and I were in high school, and then I went away for 5 years. My sister got married and she went away, and then when we came back, we thought, well, geez, wouldn't it be nice to do something special for Halloween again, like what we used to do? So the first year was 1990, and we had one figure and a couple really primitive cardboard tombstones, and then we took some rubber gloves and painted them to look like hands and stuck those in the yard, and then also we rented a fog machine, because back then you couldn't even buy a fog machine. We had to rent them from the Raven Sound over in Erie. We had to go to Raven Sound. It was $50 a day to rent the fog machine. So I had to go over that morning to pick it up, and then I had to return it the next day. So after that year, 90 and 91, we did that both years. Then in 93, I rented a animation from a place in Cleveland, and so then they said, well, the company who made the animation is right here in Steubenville, Ohio. So I called them up, and they said, well, have you ever been to the big Halloween trade show in Chicago? So then I went to that my first year in 1995, and just saw all kinds of just phenomenal things, and just really, really big items and nice animations. So then we all started, from there it was just up, and then every year we always tried to add something different. I tell people that every piece in our display has a story to go with it, So we're pretty pleased in that aspect too. That we have a lot of unique things, and there's all these kind of fascinating stories behind them.
Well, you've seen everything throughout all the years, obviously, and you have people from all ages that come.
Oh yeah,
and
yes,
all areas, not just Conneaut.
Right, not just Conneaut. We have people from as far away as Buffalo. Well, actually, even further than that, because we get out of town visitors who used to live in Conneaut, who now there was a woman who lived in Alaska, and
wow.
I would get fan letters from these people after Halloween.
How
and
amazing is that?
and in fact, this one lady brought to my attention, she said, your furthest person you thought was in Buffalo, New York. She goes, but actually I beg to differ, I'm in Alaska.
Wow.
So yeah. So that was really nice.
Yeah.
But so it's pretty fascinating and really interesting how the community is really taking it in. And then, of course, as I was telling you earlier before the show, last year we got a really nice proclamation from the city of Conneaut recognizing us for 25 years of Haunt on Williams.
Now, I'm sure you've done many interviews too throughout the years on TV, and also with the. I know you were in the Erie paper, I believe.
Right. Yeah, Erie, the Cleveland Plain Dealer, and then the last couple of years, Dave Belmondo comes over from TV 24. And would do a live simulcast in the morning from 6 to 8 o'clock in the morning. Would do a live feed, which is pretty interesting too.
Yes. Now, obviously, Halloween has to be one of your favorite holidays. Has to be.
Oh, sure.
To be able to do that,
Absolutely.
right?
What's that?
To be able to do this,
Oh yeah,
leads me to think it's got to be your favorite.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's just fun to like to show what we've got, and we're like really proud that we have things that people will not see anywhere else. And so that really brings it up a notch or two.
You got a cemetery there in your yard too.
Yeah,
During the hunt on Williams Street.
Absolutely. And this year we have a really nice new gargoyle that he's sits up on a 6-foot tall pedestal, and his wings open up 8 feet wide, and he roars, and his eyes glow red, and smoke comes out of his mouth. So I think he's going to be the real big draw this year amongst other new figures that we've created over the past year or two.
It's got to be a lot of work for you to set
It
this
is,
up.
and I'm really grateful. I'm really lucky to have a lot of help getting this set up. A friend of mine from Pittsburgh comes up to help, and I think one of my most interesting stories for helpers is a guy from Dominion Gas a couple years ago was driving down the road, and he was going real slow, taking everything in. And then so I started talking to him. I said, well, I said, you need to come back at night when it's all lit up and you get all the spooky ambiance. And so he came back, and he goes, wow, he goes, this is really fantastic. I've never seen anything like this before. And so he came back every night that we were open the rest of that season. And then he says, well, listen, he goes, I would love to help you take down when you're through at the end of the season. I said, well, sure. So then after that, he goes, well, you know what? Give me a call in September when you start putting up, and I'll come over and help you put up. And this guy's from Chardon, Ohio, and he drives from Chardon to Conneaut to help me do this. And so that's like probably my best story, I think. Is
So you said September, so that's when you start setting this thing up?
Yeah, what we do is the end of August, we start taking things out of our buildings and then getting them ready to assemble and put out. And then usually right after Labor Day is when we start to put our fence out, and then we start doing everything after that. And now these last couple of weeks we have started putting out some of our figures. And then in our garage area, we turn that into like a crypt, and we have our casket vampire in there who talks to people. And then we also have like a magic mirror and a painting that changes, and then a couple other surprises in that area too.
So your display is up for about 2 weeks, is it?
This year it'll start Saturday the 22nd, and we'll go Saturday, Sunday, and I believe we're going to be closed like Monday, Tuesday, because those are kind of slow nights, and then we'll reopen from Wednesday all the way through October 31st.
And the hours are as soon as it starts?
7 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
7 to 10.
Yeah, 7 to 10.
Right on Halloween night, you're open as well?
Yeah, because I just heard yesterday that Trick or Treat this year is the 30th and Sunday.
Oh, not the 31st.
Right, that's what I was told by my source.
That'll be a first for
exactly.
Conneaut.
Yeah, because I've never.
I was just going to say I have to give Conneaut
Never.
credit.
I
They
know.
always have it when it's supposed to be
I know,
on the 31st.
Yeah. Except for the one year when we had Hurricane Sandy, and then they had like November 3rd, I think.
Oh.
But yeah.
Is it 5 to 7, the normal hours?
Yes, it is. It is.
On a Sunday.
Right, on Sunday, but then we'll still be open on the 31st, and that'll give everyone one last look around.
I know some of the other communities are having on the Saturday.
Oh, really?
29th,
Oh,
Geneva and
okay.
Ashtabula were.
Uh-huh.
And I was saying, only Conneaut gets it right, because they have.
Right,
Now
exactly.
they change it.
So because I was surprised too when I heard that just last night that it was changed to Sunday the 30th.
They didn't give a reason or anything?
No, they didn't. And so that's the first time I ever recall them having it any other night besides the 31st. So, but we decided last night to still go, because at first I was thinking, well, geez, then I can start taking down the 31st. I thought, no, we'll lead up one more night, and that'll give everyone kind of like a bonus night to come check it out, I think.
Yeah. Have you ever had any of your visitors in the 25 years? I'm sure you have. The little kids that come that actually cry and they have to.
Yeah, some of them do, I think, but those are the same ones who come back now, and they're all grown, and they either they like take their parents or their grandparents back with them, because it was their parents and grandparents who took them there 25 years ago, and so now it's the opposite end of the spectrum where they're bringing them, and so yeah.
Well, tell us about these two characters behind us that are kind of scary.
Well, this is Ryan, and he's a munchkin, and this is Ryan's friend, Creepy Kathy. And Kathy's a new addition for us this year, and you'll see her out in our cemetery scene. She's animated. She moves around, and she makes those little possessed girl sounds, and yeah. So these are two of our little figures.
And tell us about everything else that you have there. I know we talked about the cemetery. Some of your other characters.
Well, in addition to our animated gargoyle, we have our casket vampire in our crypt area. I acquired him back in 2001, and it was really funny because he has a story behind him. The first year I went to the Halloween and Haunted Attraction show in Chicago in 1995, he was there, and when I saw him, I was just totally blown away with just how good he was. I mean, he was just a really awesome animation. So I saw him in 1995, and like years passed, and I always thought about what a nice animation that was. And then in 2001, it turned out somebody who had him, they were selling. So then I purchased it from this buyer over in Pennsylvania, and then I took him back to his maker over in southern New Jersey, a guy who does a lot of things for theme parks and for Universal Studios. He makes animations for their Halloween events there. So I took him back there, and we added some more speeches to him. And the interesting fact with our casket vampire is originally he was used in the Museum of Monsters and Myths in Salem, Massachusetts. So one of the recordings we have is a really nice speech about the history of the vampire, and sometimes we'll play that around Halloween, and it's kind of a cool little history about the vampire, and it's a nice speech.
Randy, when you look back at the 25 previous years, is there anything in any one of those years that stand out to you as, boy, this really worked out well, this was the biggest hit that I've had so far? Anything in particular that stands out?
Every year is to me is always a standout, and then we keep raising the bar the next year. So I can't think of any one year, although like maybe in the beginning, I would think when was it, back in 1997, that was when we encompassed our whole front yard, because prior to that we just had a small section of yard that we used. And here's another story for you. Back in 1997, there was a house we used to go to over in Erie, over on Kohler Road in the Bell Valley Township, and they used to have a pumpkin farm, and they were kind of in a little desolate area where they had a pond in their side yard, and the owners were very, very creative. They made these figures using mannequins, and they would put deer skulls over the face, and they painted them green, and they made these custom clothes for all these figures, so they looked kind of like Amish or Mennonite, with the real basic black and white clothes, and so they had all these figures, and they had this hearse that they made. And because they were, they run a mink farm over there, and so they also did a lot of taxidermy work. So they also made this really nice horse skeleton out of all these animal bones. And so at the end of '96, they said, we aren't going to be doing this anymore. If there's anything you want from our display, let us know. And then so I went in contact with the owners, and I got their hearse as well as a lot of their figures. And then then the following year in '97, that was when we like took the whole width of our yard, which is quite substantial. And then probably like '97 was like when we started making the really big jump into really having it show during its first big growth. So.
I know one of your biggest supporters and gets just as excited as you do over this is your sister Jolene.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
a big help too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yep. Jolene's a very big help, and plus our mom is too. And all of our vintage decorations, we have like a small porch to the side of our house, and so all those vintage decorations from P&J and from Grants, we hang up in the small porch, and then people can go in there and check them out. It's kind of our throwback room, we like to refer to it as. And back then it was the '60s, so a lot of those decorations were done in fluorescent colors, so we had them all like lit with black light, so you see them the way they were like meant to be. And so it's kind of a nice throwback to experience that as well.
Now, do you have to talk to the city at all, or are there any rules or regulations, any
No,
limits that you have?
nothing. And
Really?
that's another thing too,
Yeah,
because
that is amazing.
I'm on a couple of Facebook Halloween groups. There's Haunters Hangout, Halloween Yard Haunters, a couple other Facebook groups, but I'm really amazed at a lot of people on those groups who like post the group saying, "Oh, my city just came by the other day and they told me that I could not do my display this year." Yeah. So and there's a lot of that happening. So that was another thing too that I was really surprised about this proclamation last year, where a lot of cities are like shutting people down and restricting what they do. My city is embracing it. So that was another thing that really
you don't have to go through them.
yeah, no.
already,
And then of course, I like to tell people, and I'm very proud of this accomplishment too, is the night of trick or treat, the city closes our street down completely. So there's no car traffic. It's just foot traffic for the whole duration, and that's like a real nice thing too, because Halloween night we usually get around 2,000 or so trick-or-treaters and visitors.
Have you ever had any issues with where you needed police or anything during
No,
this?
everything has been really well under control. So I'm also very grateful for that.
Yeah, I would
Very
think.
grateful for that. That everybody behaves really nice, and there's no issues of of that kind of thing per se. So it's a good thing, and I think people really enjoy it so much that that they don't want to turn it into anything like that. So
Yeah, it is a great thing. I mean, 25 years, now going into your 26th
I know,
year.
and how many people can say that they've been doing something for 25
I know,
years?
I know.
So that's like something that I feel pretty proud about doing, is the fact that it's been ongoing this long.
Is it getting harder or easier for setting up?
Well, yes and no, because as you get older, it's harder moving. But I have one guy who helps me. He used to live here in town, and he lives in Jefferson now. And like for the last 15 years, he is like religious about helping me in the beginning, helping me take down. When him and his sons come over, they know exactly what needs to be done. They get it up. And so he's like quite a very big help to me. And then of course I have my new friend from Dominion Gas who comes in and helps. And then plus I have friends from Pittsburgh that come in, and so it's just nice. I get people from all over, and these are the same people who like have the drive and the admiration for it, but they can't necessarily do it in their house or in their home. So then they like to support someplace else where they can at least see something as extraordinary.
And
is
to get
this.
the recognition as you
Yeah,
got. And
in the
congratulations
Asheville
on
Living
that, too.
magazine. Thank you.
Yep.
This is by Chris Jocelyn, his
Great
magazine.
photographer.
Yep, and so we were in the back page. This magazine features different residents from Asheville County, and it gives a little summary as to what they do. And so we were in this last fall. So we were very pleased to be in this. And Chris came out in the summer and shot this really nice picture that you see with a lot of our characters. And then he added fog below, and this is definitely one of my most favorite photos so far. So.
Well, keep up the good work, Randy, and I know everybody, not only, like you said, in Conneaut, but everybody in the area talks about it, they come visit it, and they're very impressed with it.
Well, thank you. Oh, and then one last thing too, I want to let everyone know that we do have a Facebook page this year, and it's Haunt on Williams Street, and you can look us up, like us, share us with your friends, and we're also in the process of updating our website, which is hauntonwilliams.com. There's videos from all the years past on the website. All of the news stories from TV24 you can also view on that same site, and you can look at pictures from over the years, and it's really nice. We're very excited. We have a new webmaster who's doing it for us, and he's done an amazing job. So between our Facebook page and our website, there's just lots of really good things to look at and peruse around.
And what about these T-shirts that you're wearing?
Well,
Do you sell those?
last year my sister and a friend of mine came up with these T-shirts for our designs, and we're also going to be doing T-shirts, I think, again this year,
So
because
you
we
sell
have we sell them there, and we've like acquired such a fan following now that people ask for the shirts, and so we decided to like do shirts again for this year, and this year's logo is going to have our casket vampire on the front, and then on the back it's going to say Haunt on Williams Street, Conneaut, Ohio.
Very good.
So,
So once again, you're going to start this year October 22nd.
Or 21st.
21st, that's a Saturday?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 22nd, Saturday.
Saturday.
And then so it'll be Saturday, Sunday,
Take Monday,
and then
Tuesday
Monday,
off.
Tuesday we're going to take off, and then also like in the event that it's like going to be really, really bad weather, we won't be open as well for then. So because it is very weather active. So in the event, if you have questions, you can message us on Facebook, and we can reply to you on there if it's a go or not. But
Have you canceled before due to weather?
yeah, we have, because the end of October the weather is very, very fickle. Between winds and rain. Like I know last year I think we had one day for sure that I know last year where we didn't, and that was fine because I don't ever recall anybody coming out just because the weather was so bad and it was just a steady downpour, and no one wants to be out in that kind of weather.
You reschedule it, or you just
No,
it's just a day loss?
it's just a day loss. So.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Randy, for coming on and
Well,
bringing.
thank you very much.
That's Kathy.
Yeah, Creepy
and
Kathy
this is
and Ryan.
Creepy
Ryan.
Kathy and Ryan. Very scary characters.
Yeah, and Ryan's all ready for
And
Halloween.
you said men don't like this guy, right?
Yeah, a lot of guys really get creeped out by him. So.
Alrighty.
Okay, well,
That's
thank you
Randy
very much.
Skalos, The Haunt on William Street, and this will be year number 26 coming up for Randy. Again, thanks, Randy, for coming on the show.
Thank you for
This
having
is
me.
Chuck Guglielmo for another edition of Around the Town with Chuck.